What's going on, beautiful royal family? All praises to the Most High God. Now, some of you may or may not know, but April 1st is the Passover. Yes, it is that time of year again. It is the Passover, and it is time for us to get all of that leavened bread and leavening agents that includes yeast and baking soda out of our houses so that we can celebrate the Passover properly. Now, this is symbolic for us getting all of the sin out of our lives. It is a commandment that we are to make unleavened bread and eat it for 7 days throughout this time. And many of you have expressed to me that you just don't know how to make unleavened bread. So I am going to teach you how to do it today. First of all, it's very simple and it's very fun. Now, we are not going to make that nasty ass Ashkenazi bread that have no flavor. No, we black people, we blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got to have flavor in our food. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, family, this is everything that we are going to need to make this unleavened bread. Now, family, I am asking for your permission. Please bear with me as we do this. I want to take my time and break this down to you. I remember when I used to look at recipes on YouTube on how to make unleavened bread, and the people used to run through it, and it used to really frustrate me because they never really explained anything, and I don't want that to happen to you. So I'm going to take my time and be diligent, all right? All right, so here it is. First thing, you're going to need a large mixing bowl, preferably glass if you have it. Next, 2 cups of all-purpose unbleached flour. Now, the reason why I want you to use unbleached flour is because anything that's bleached has gone through a process and it is absolutely horrible for your system. That includes sugar or wherever else it may be. All right, so again, 2 cups of unbleached flour. Now, I want you to use fresh flour. All right, some of y'all have flour that's been in your cabinet since Bush was in office. Get rid of that and get some fresh flour. All right, next, 1 cup of milk and our ingredients right here. This is 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of parsley, and 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Now you can add whatever seasonings or whatever that you want. For me, that has always been a really good concoction. I like it and it works for me. And it's really, really good too. And I say 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder because onion powder can be very, very overpowering and you just want a hint of it. All right. So now on to the process. First, we're going to take the flour. We're going to dump it into the mixing bowl. Now, the next part, you have to make a reservoir, okay? Make a reservoir right here in the middle. Now, why do you do this? Because when you start to mix it, it's going to distribute much more evenly. Okay, so now I want to show you something. I want you to take your ingredients, pour it directly into the milk. Why? Now we're going to stir this bad boy up. You take this and you get it directly in there. You start stirring this up. And the reason being, because once you dump it in the middle of the reservoir, all of those flavors and everything are going to distribute all throughout the dough versus it just being in one particular hot spot, all right? So let's go ahead and take that, pour that in there. There it is. Boom. So now I am a bit of a neat freak. So I'm going to grab my spoon. We're going to start kneading this up right now. Okay, we're going to start the process. Start it off slow. And make sure you pull it away from the sides. Get it from off of the sides. Because that 2 cups of flour that you put in there, you're going to need all that to make a great dough. So pull it all out. You see, now it's starting to coagulate. And just keep going with it. Just keep mixing it. I want to make sure y'all can see it. You see that? Just pull it all off from the sides. You want to use all that flour. And I can already smell how good it's going to be. Now, as you see, right? It's starting to coagulate. But some people like to go ahead and dig their hand in it right now and start doing it. And this should go without saying. Hopefully, you wash your damn hands before you started. You know, I don't give a damn what anybody say. People have been sitting and picking and digging all damn day. They want to come and make some bread for you and didn't wash their hands. So, of course, you know, we had to make that mention. Okay, so now, I'm not sure if y'all can see like these little crisps down here at the bottom, right? You want to take all of that and get that in there as much as you possibly can. You want a nice firm dough. Nice firm dough. All right, we're gonna let this sit here for a second. Now, when it comes to unleavened bread dough, it's going to be a little bit more tacky because it doesn't have any leavening agents in it. All right, so there's really nothing that's helping it bind. So you want to use a lot of flour, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. When I say flour, you want to use a lot of flour on the surface. All right, so we're going to let this sit for a little bit, and then we're going to come back to it. All right, so this is sat for about a good 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and pick this up here. Sit this over here. So as you can see, when I'm going ahead and rolling it there, it still needs to be kneaded. See that? Because it's still separated. And as you can see, if you could take a look at my hand, it's still really sticky. This is the tackiness that I was talking about, right? So we're going to take this and put this here to the side. Clean this up here a little bit. Get this out the way. Now, we have to flour our surface. So you want to make sure that your surface is very, very clean. And I already took the liberty of doing that. First of all, my counters are not dirty in the first place. But you want to go ahead. You want to use a lot of flour. And you're going to see why. The flour is going to help eliminate all of that tackiness with the dough. Remember, we're dealing with unleavened dough. And there's a big difference, right? So here we're going to do. We're going to take this out. Boom. Throw it on there. So make sure y'all can see it. All right. So now we're going to do this kneading process. And when you knead it, you want to make sure you're getting out all the air pockets and everything in the dough. You want to go ahead and do this for about a good 5 minutes. That's why I said it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. So just want to make sure that you do this here. And don't be afraid to put a little flour on there. You're trying to get rid of that tacky. All right. And this is the thing. This is what you're going to have to do. And this is the messy part. Some people don't like doing this, but if you want a good dough, this is what you got to do. Okay? You got to put some work into it. Put it back down. Because what you're doing right now is forming and preparing the dough spread this around a little bit more. Trust me when I tell you, you want to use that flour and try to get rid of as much as that tackiness as possible. All right. So we're going to continue doing this, like I said, for about a good 5 minutes. But let me stop it for a second. I want to show you something. Can you see the parsley and everything that's in there all throughout? So if you see the parsley is spread all the way around, what else is spread all the way around? The salt, sugar, and onion powder, meaning that that flavor is all throughout this dough. All right, let's continue. All right, we're going to take this and just roll it into a ball. Put it back in and let it sit for about an hour. This is the most important part. You have to let this sit for about an hour. Once it sits, then we'll come back to it. All right, family. So this is sat for about a good hour now. So now we want to go ahead and start making the little bread patties or whatever you want to call it. So as you see, I cleaned up my work area already. Now you are going to need a little more flour than we had before, and especially when it comes time to start rolling this out. And trust me, if you don't use enough, you will see why. Okay? So let's go ahead and get this back on there real quick. Boom. Go ahead and drop that in there. All right, so this was kneaded out. So we good. So now all we have to do is start making, and I want you to take a look at this. You see how elastic it is? You see that? That's how you know when you got a really, really good dough. All right, so we're going to pull some of this off. We're going to make a couple of balls of it. Of course, I don't have to do all of them now here, but I'm going to do it so that you can actually see how to. Remember, this is just for the purpose of example, all right? So you want to use that flour. Boom. All right, so I don't have to do all of them here. Let's do 2 so that you can see. All right, here, move this one over. Go lay this one down. Now, some people, they just like to do it like this. You know, take it and form it out or whatnot. But for me, I'm a little culinary bougie. So I like to use a rolling pin. Take that, smooth it out, smooth it out, smooth it out. I like to get it as thin as possible because when you have it, when it's entirely too thick, what it does, it clumps. And you have like a gooey center. And I do not like that. So this is what you want to do. Some people try to get it absolutely circular or whatnot. That doesn't bother me at all. I try to get it as flat as I possibly can. I'm not worrying about the shape. All right, so here you got, here, let's roll this out some more. Get out those air pockets. All right, boom, see? So now you got that. So you're ready to take this. I'm gonna set this one off to the side. You see, that's how you want it to be. Nice and flat, nice and flat. That's how you want it, nice and flat. You can probably roll this out a little bit more. Let's roll out a little bit more. There you go. There you go. Boom. We got that one. We're going to take this one. We're going to set this one over to the side. And we got one more. We're going to do one more. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the oven. Some people, they like to put it on the stovetop. I'm not a big fan of putting it on stovetop. I like mine to go in the oven. Why? Because it cooks evenly. And I'm going to show y'all a couple of things here in a second. All right, so go ahead and let's flatten that out. Rolling pin. All right, try to get it as flat as you possibly can. Get it flat. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Nice, and pick it up. That's what we got. Boom, let's hit the other side. Whoop. Move. See, still a little bit tacky. Throw a little flour on there. All right. So you see, we have our 2. Boom. And boom. You see, you should be able to take those and pick them right up to where it's not tacky. All right, family. So I'll let these set for about another good 5 minutes, right? And once again, I want to point out, take a look at the parsley that's spread all throughout. Again, that's where all the flavor has gone. Now, this next part is absolutely optional. Now, for me, I like an egg wash on any type of pastry or whatnot that I do. Now, this is something that you do not have to do, but me personally, I like to do it. So you just give it a nice, good, quick egg wash over. Because we're going to be putting this in the oven. And being that we are putting it into the oven, you want to make sure that it has a nice golden, some people like crispy or whatnot, you know, but this is going to make it nice and golden. Okay, so I'm going to let that just sit on there for a little bit. And don't be stingy with it either. You don't want to waste an egg. All right, so we're doing it to that one there. Boom, we're going to come over and do it to this one. And once again, this is completely optional. Now, some people, they'll even like to go over the dough with just a little bit of salt one more time. Now, you can do that if you want to, but it's really all down to the taste. Me, I don't like my food to be my food to be extra salty. You know, so that's just me. So you know what I'll do, just for the hell of it, just for the segment, where's my salt? Here it is. We're gonna do it on one of them, okay? And just going over with some salt. And this is just some sea salt. That's all it is. Just a light dust. That's it. Just to see how it goes, right? So now, do you see this here? Let me make sure you can see it. This is a foil lined pan. So let me go ahead and give you a little science right now. What we're going to do is, the oven right now is at 400 degrees. We're going to take this pan, foil lined pan. You want a foil lined pan. Why? Because when you're cooking in the oven, when you use foil, for one, it absolutely cooks it evenly all the way through. But before we put it in there, we just want to use a light dusting of some non-stick cooking spray. And I mean a light dusting, just so it doesn't stick. Boom, boom, that's it. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take this, we're going to put it in the oven. We're going to let it go for like 5 minutes. Why? Because we are going to be heating up the pan. And that the pan is going to distribute and cook these evenly all the way through. All right, so we're going to let that go for 5 minutes and then we'll be back. All right, family, so the pan is nice and heated now. So we're going to take this, we're going to take one of them, we're going to put it on the pan. This is the salted one, all right? So now we're going to take it, boom. We're going to put it in the oven. It's going to cook for 3 minutes on each side. So once it's done, then we'll go back to it. All right, so while that's cooking, I just want to go ahead and show you. So I'm going to give you an example. You see that right there? This is when it's too thick. All right, you don't want that damn dough to be that thick. You see all this here? You see how it's gooey and all that? That's not good. That's not attractive. That's ugly. And there you have it, family. Here it is. Look at it. Take a look at it. Boom. Came out perfect. Absolutely perfect. So as you can see, for one, this is the one that I did with the salt on there. So let me try to get it up close if you can see. You can see the sprinkles of salt on there too. And as you can see, the parsley and everything is fully distributed out of it. So there you have it. I told you, it's very easy to make, very simple. And not only that, but it is absolutely delicious. And just so people don't be thinking, oh, well, look at it and tear it. Look how easy that tears. Look at that. See that? Boom. There it is. It's perfect. So now all you got to do, just follow the steps that I've done. Now, just to make a mention about the oven, I have a gas oven. All right. So mine gets pipingly freaking hot. So for you, whatever your oven temperature or whatnot may be, it is completely up to you to go in there and check on it just to make sure that it cooks and distributes evenly all the way through. And as you can see from the consistency, that it had cooked all the way through, and that is because of the aluminum foil that was spread across the top of that baking sheet. And remember, you just want to dust it, a light dust of non-sticking cooking oil. Okay, so there it is. That is how you make unleavened bread, and it is delicious. So please share everything with me when you do. Let me know if this was a good tutorial. Let me know if it wasn't. Either way, you already know I'm a big boy. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But I want to see some results. So send me some pictures. All right. Love y'all, family. I'm out.